It all seemed normal, just a fun night, a few selfies and a couple of snaps sent to friends. But when she checked her phone again, there was a new snap from someone she didn't know, showing a live picture of her in the exact outfit she was wearing, taken just seconds ago. She was alone, or so she thought. These are not just creepy Snapchat glitches, these are real stories of terror, and once you hear them, you'll never feel safe sending a snap again. It was a typical weekend evening. Mia, a college student, had just finished dinner and was lounging in her room, scrolling through Snapchat stories and responding to her friends' streaks. The lights were dim, her phone screen glowing softly, in her hand. She took a quick selfie with a filter, sent it to her best friend and tossed her phone aside. Nothing unusual, until her phone vibrated a few seconds later. A new Snap notification popped up. The sender's name was unfamiliar. She didn't recognize the username, and there was no Bitmoji or display picture, just a blank gray icon. Curious? She hesitated. Normally she'd ignore something like that, but the curiosity got the better of her. She tapped on it. The snap opened. It was a photo of her, taken from outside her window. Her silhouette was clearly visible inside the room, lying on the bed in the exact position she was in just moments ago. She froze. The angle wasn't from inside her house, it was from the backyard. The room on the second floor faced a small patch of overgrown trees. Her heart pounded. She immediately jumped up, ran to the window and looked out. Nothing, just darkness and leaves rustling in the wind. But the feeling that someone had been there, that someone was possibly still watching, was overwhelming. She locked the window, pulled the blinds down and grabbed her phone with trembling hands. She opened Snapchat again, now in panic mode. The snap had already disappeared. She tried to screenshot, but it was too late. The username was still there, but when she tapped it, it led to an empty profile. No stories, no mutual friends, no option to message again. Just the chilling memory of that photo burned into her mind. Mia opened the Snap map. She rarely used it, but she wanted to see if the person had somehow tagged a location or if anything strange was nearby. That's when her own Bitmoji icon caught her attention. It showed her current location with eerie accuracy, down to the very building and floor she was on. She realized she had left her location settings on everyone instead of ghost mode. A feature she never thought much of suddenly felt dangerous. She quickly turned it off, but the damage felt done. She started scrolling through her friend list to see if anyone suspicious had recently added her or if there was any sign of this mystery account. Then it hit her. A few days ago, someone had added her by quick add. She didn't know them, but she thought maybe it was someone from a mutual group project or class, so she accepted. She had forgotten about it, until now. She went back to check her recent friends and noticed the same username from earlier, but when she clicked it, the profile was gone, deleted or blocked. Either way, it had vanished without a trace. She sat in silence, phone still in her hand, pulse still racing. Trying to calm herself, she opened the camera to take a snap and send it to her best friend again, this time to explain what happened. But as she lifted her phone to her face, she noticed something in the camera background. A shadow, faint but there. It flickered and disappeared. She flipped the camera to the rear lens. Nothing was there. She closed the app and opened it again. Nothing. Maybe it was a glitch. Maybe she was just panicking. But then, as she looked at her recent snaps, another one arrived. From a new, random account. No display name, no Bitmoji, just a blank icon again. The snap was unopened, waiting there. She stared at the notification, too afraid to tap it. Jessie loved using Snapchat filters. From dog ears to glowing makeup, it was all harmless fun. She'd often spent her downtime snapping filtered selfies or playing around with the augmented reality lenses that added floating hearts, fairy wings, or animated flames. One lazy afternoon, she sat alone in her living room with her cat Bella curled up nearby. The house was silent, the only sounds being the ticking of the clock and the faint hum of the air conditioner. She opened Snapchat, switched to the front-facing camera, and started scrolling through filters. She paused on one of her favorites, the one with the dancing flower crown. It was the type of filter that detected faces and automatically placed animated accessories on them. When the filter activated, she immediately noticed something strange. There were 2 flower crowns floating on the screen, one on her head and one in the empty space beside her. At first, she thought it was a glitch. Snapchat had bugs all the time. Maybe the app was misreading a shadow or something on the wall. She turned her phone slightly to the left to see if it was catching something. Reflective. But the second crown stayed in place, perfectly aligned in midair as if it were sitting on an invisible head. Her heart skipped. She reached out with her free hand and waved it through the space where the second face was being detected. Nothing. The crown didn't flicker or shift. It stayed locked in place, responding to movement, even slightly tilting when she tilted the phone. Her pulse quickened. She backed up and tried switching filters. She picked one with the face swap option, which scanned for 2 faces and allowed users to switch them in real time. Instantly, it activated both faces again, hers and the invisible one beside her. The app attempted a face swap and overlaid a blurry, warped version of another face onto her features. The second face was barely visible, but Jessie could make out outlines, sunken eyes, a wide, crooked mouth, and dark patches where the cheeks should have been. Jessie dropped her phone. It landed screen up on the floor, still active. For a split second, the warped face lingered on the screen before the camera feed blinked and reset. The second face was gone. She picked up the phone, hands shaking, and turned the camera toward the spot again. Nothing appeared this time. Just her face and Bella the cat, now fully awake and staring at the same empty space with wide eyes and ears pinned back. Still trying to rationalize what had happened, she recorded a quick video using a new filter, one that didn't require facial recognition. Nothing odd showed up, but then she played back the video. At the 3-second mark, right when she turned toward the corner of the room, a flicker of static appeared, and in that momentary distortion, there it was again, a face, not hers, not anyone she knew, just a blurred, pale shape staring directly into the lens. Jessie tried recreating the moment. She walked around the room, used different filters, closed, and reopened the app, even restarted her phone. Nothing came back. Everything worked normally. The filters only detected her, and the second face was gone. But later that night, when she went through her saved memories on Snapchat, she noticed that one video, the one with the static, was no longer there. She hadn't deleted it. She scrolled again, checking timestamps. It had vanished. But as she stared at the screen, another strange thing happened. A notification appeared. It was from Snapchat's memory feature. It said, "Relive a memory from this day last year." Curious, she tapped it. It was a saved selfie from exactly a year ago, using the same flower crown filter. And in the background of that old photo, she saw it again. That same faint face lurking behind her shoulder. Snap Maps was supposed to be a fun feature. Launched by Snapchat to let friends share their locations in real time, it promised a new level of connectivity, so you could see where your friends were hanging out, plan meetups, or just check in when you couldn't call or text. But for some, it became a tool of terror. Liam was an avid Snapchat user who loved sharing his daily adventures with his friends. Whether it was grabbing coffee, going to the gym, or just walking home from class, he kept his Snap Map location. Don thinking it was harmless. His friends could see where he was, and he could see their little bitmojis moving around the city. It felt like a modern way of staying connected. One evening, after a late study session at the library, Liam decided to walk home. It was late, around 11 p.m., and the streets were quiet. He checked his phone on the way, scrolling through messages and snapping a quick selfie to send to his girlfriend. He didn't think twice about the Snap Map. The little icon on the app showed him exactly where he was. Unbeknownst to him, someone else was watching too. A username appeared on his Snapchat friend list a few weeks earlier. Liam didn't recognize the person, but accepted the friend request anyway, thinking they might be from a club he joined recently. He never talked much to them, but their Bitmoji was visible on the map near his campus. That night, as Liam neared his apartment building, he noticed the same Bitmoji on Snap Map was moving unusually close behind his own. At first he shrugged it off. Maybe the person was just walking nearby. But as he turned a corner, the Bitmoji followed, matching his route exactly, step by step. The feeling of being tracked made his stomach churn. Liam quickened his pace and checked the map again. The other user was only a few blocks away, still shadowing him on the map. Panic set in. He ducked into a convenience store to call his girlfriend. As he spoke quietly, the snap map showed the other user circling the block outside, never leaving the area. Liam realized he had made a huge mistake, keeping his location visible to everyone on Snapchat. The feature had turned from a harmless way to share his day into a live tracking device for someone with dangerous intentions. After that night, Liam turned off his Snap Map location entirely, switching to ghost mode so no one could see where he was. But the damage wasn't undone. Over the following days, strange messages began appearing in his Snapchat inbox from the same unknown user who had been stalking his location. The messages were cryptic, random emojis, photos of empty streets, and sometimes just the word, "Here, Liam." Blocked the user multiple times, but each time the account reappeared with a new username, always tracking him on the map. It was as if the person was always watching, always one step behind. The worst came when Liam found a snap sent directly to him, a photo of his front door taken from outside. The timestamp matched the moment he was home alone. His heart sank. He reported the account to Snapchat, but the process was slow and frustrating. The stalker accounts kept multiplying, slipping through bans, and always tracking his every move. Friends warned Liam about Snap Map's dangers, but many didn't realize how easy it was for strangers to gain access. By default, Snapchat sets location sharing to friends, and many users like Liam don't check or change their privacy settings. Even with friends-only sharing, accepting requests from unknown users can open the door to potential stalkers. Experts have warned about the risks of real-time location sharing on social media platforms. Snap Map's precision, pinpointing users down to the street or even building, gives stalkers a powerful tool. And since Snapchat stories and messages disappear quickly, victims can struggle to gather evidence or prove harassment. Liam's experience became a cautionary tale among his friends. He now shares warnings about Snap Map's risks and encourages others to keep their locations hidden or use ghost mode. What was designed for connection had nearly turned into a nightmare for him, and it serves as a reminder to millions about the fine line between sharing and oversharing. Even after turning off his location, Liam still feels uneasy. Sometimes when he checks his phone, he wonders if the stalker's gaze has shifted to other platforms, or if they are waiting for another chance to watch him in real time through the screen he trusts the most. Snapchat built its reputation on the idea that snaps disappear after being viewed or after 24 hours, offering users a sense of privacy and impermanence. But for some users, this promise of vanishing messages turned into a nightmare when deleted. Snaps mysteriously reappeared, or worse, seemed to come back with changes that no one expected. These strange occurrences have led many to question whether anything truly disappears on Snapchat, or if some messages linger in the shadows, ready to resurface at the worst possible moment. Emily was an avid Snapchat user who loved sending funny snaps and sharing moments from her daily life. She was careful about what she shared, often deleting snaps quickly, trusting the app's core feature that nothing would remain after being opened or after the set time expired. But one evening, she noticed something unsettling. After a long day, Emily opened her Snapchat memories, a feature that saves snaps and stories automatically if you choose to save them. She was scrolling through her saved snaps when she came across a photo she was sure she had deleted weeks ago. It was a snap she had sent to a close friend, but had erased from her memories because it felt too personal. The image showed her standing, alone in her room, but what made her shiver wasn't just the reappearance, it was what had been added. In the background of the snap, barely visible at first glance, was a shadowy figure standing by the doorway. Emily was certain no one was there when she took the snap. The figure was blurry and vague, like a silhouette, but it was unmistakably human-shaped. Her hands trembled as she zoomed in, trying to make sense of what she was seeing. Had the photo been altered somehow? Was it a glitch? She sent the snap to a friend for a second opinion. The friend confirmed they saw the figure too, and that it definitely wasn't there before. Emily began digging through other deleted snaps in her memories. To her horror, several other photos and videos she had once deleted had reappeared, each with strange, unexplained details. Faint faces in windows, hands peeking from behind curtains, or distorted shapes hovering in dark corners. Some snaps that she was certain were taken alone now seemed to include something else. Confused and scared, she tried to delete the snaps again. But no matter how many times she erased them, they kept coming back in her memories. It was as if Snapchat's servers had a copy that couldn't be fully erased, or worse, something was manipulating her saved snaps remotely. Her experience wasn't isolated. Across social media, stories began emerging from users who claimed their deleted snaps came back altered or accompanied by mysterious messages. Some reported receiving snaps from accounts that no longer existed, containing images or videos they thought were long gone. Others described ghostly faces or strange symbols appearing in snaps that were once normal. There was a common thread among these tales. The snaps always returned with eerie or unsettling changes. Some people believed their phones were haunted. Others suspected hackers or third-party apps manipulating their Snapchat data. Snapchat itself has never officially explained these glitches or acknowledged them publicly. Experts warn that Snapchat's cloud-based memory storage system, while convenient, may have vulnerabilities. Data stored on servers can sometimes be corrupted or tampered with, especially if an account is compromised. Additionally, third-party apps claiming to save snaps or recover deleted content might leave users exposed to security risks, potentially allowing others to alter or inject content into their accounts. Emily's growing fear was compounded by the fact that some of the reappearing snaps seemed to know things about her private life. Snapshots taken in moments where she was alone, in rooms where no one else was supposed to be. The idea that deleted content might be lurking somewhere, waiting to resurface, made her paranoid about every snap she sent or received. She started taking screenshots of the altered snaps and backing them up, hoping to gather proof in case something worse happened. She also changed her passwords and deleted any suspicious friends or apps connected to her Snapchat. Still, the deleted snaps haunted her memories and her mind. The psychological impact was just as real as the technical mystery. What was supposed to be a platform for quick, carefree sharing had turned into a source of anxiety, fear, and mistrust. Snapchat's disappearing snaps were meant to give users control over their privacy, but for Emily and many others, that control felt like an illusion. Snapchat's direct messaging feature allows users to send snaps, texts, voice notes, and videos privately to their friends. It's a way to communicate instantly and keep conversations fun and casual. But for many users, especially younger ones, the thrill of receiving a message from someone new can quickly turn into a nightmare when the messages come from complete strangers and the content is unsettling or downright terrifying. Anna was a regular Snapchat user who enjoyed chatting with her friends and sharing funny videos. One night, she received a notification for a new direct message from an unknown username. The display picture was blank, and the username was a string of random letters and numbers she didn't recognize. Out of curiosity, she opened the chat. The first message was a snap, a blurry, dark image that looked like the inside of a room, but it was hard to tell. No caption, no explanation. She hesitated, then decided to reply politely, asking who it was. There was no immediate response. Minutes later, another snap arrived. This time it was a close-up photo of a pair of eyes, wide open, staring directly at the camera. The eyes seemed unnerving, almost glowing in the dim light. Her stomach churned. She blocked the sender and reported the account as suspicious. The next day, a new message came from a different unknown username. The pattern repeated. Random snaps of empty hallways, dark rooms, and occasionally distorted faces. Sometimes there were text messages with cryptic phrases like, "I see you, you're not alone," or "Why don't you answer?" The tone was clearly threatening, but Anna was unsure whether to be scared or brush it off as a prank. She wasn't alone in this experience. Across Snapchat communities online, countless users have shared stories of receiving creepy direct messages from strangers. These messages often come out of nowhere, with no way to identify the sender's real identity. The anonymous nature of Snapchat makes it easy for bullies, trolls, or even predators to send disturbing content without immediate consequences. Unlike other social media platforms, where messages are often public or limited to mutual friends, Snapchat's disappearing messages and minimal traceability embolden malicious users. The ephemeral nature means snaps and chats vanish quickly, leaving victims little proof to show parents, authorities, or platform moderators. Anna started feeling anxious every time her phone buzzed. She double-checked her privacy settings, ensuring that only friends could send her snaps and messages. But sometimes these creepy messages slipped through. Fake or hacked accounts can appear suddenly and send unsolicited snaps before being blocked or deleted. Some users have reported receiving messages that reference their personal lives, locations, or habits, details that suggest someone is watching them closely. This level of intrusion is deeply unsettling, turning what should be harmless social interaction into a source of fear. In extreme cases, victims of these creepy messages have experienced harassment that escalates beyond the app. Phone calls from unknown numbers, social media stalking, or even in-person encounters. Snapchat's direct messaging system, designed for quick and casual chats, can unfortunately be exploited by those with harmful intentions. Snapchat does offer tools to help users protect themselves, including blocking, reporting, and adjusting privacy settings. But these measures rely on users being vigilant and knowledgeable about the risks. For younger users, parents, and educators, awareness and education are crucial to recognize the signs of online harassment. Anna eventually limited her Snapchat use, only accepting friend requests from people she knew personally. She shared her experience with her friends to warn them about the dangers of accepting unknown contacts. Despite the unsettling messages, she refused to let fear control her online life. The rise of anonymous messaging features in social media apps has created new challenges for online safety. While anonymity can encourage openness and fun, it also opens the door for bad actors to exploit the system. Snapchat's disappearing messages and easy friend adding make it particularly vulnerable. One of the most unsettling experiences Snapchat users face is encountering fake accounts impersonating their real friends. These accounts are created by strangers with malicious intent, designed to mimic someone you trust. They copy profile pictures, usernames with slight variations, and even replicate the style of messages or snaps that the real person might send. The goal is often to deceive and manipulate, leading to broken trust, confusion, or even worse, harassment. Sarah was a high school student who loved staying connected with her close group of friends on Snapchat. One afternoon, she received a friend request from Maddie1234, a username eerily similar to her best friend Maddie's real Snapchat handle. The profile picture was identical to Maddie's latest selfie. Without thinking twice, Sarah accepted the request, assuming it was Maddie trying to add her from a new account or a different device. Soon after accepting, Sarah received snaps and messages that seemed just a little off. The tone was slightly different, the language less familiar. "Hey, can you do me a favor? I forgot my phone charger. Can you send me some money?" The fake Maddie messaged. Confused, Sarah replied, asking if everything was okay. The account didn't respond for a while, then sent another message. This time more urgent, requesting sensitive information. Sarah started to doubt the authenticity of the account. She called Maddie on the phone, who was completely unaware that someone was impersonating her. Realizing she had been targeted by a fake account, Sarah immediately blocked and reported the impersonator to Snapchat. Unfortunately, Sarah's story is far from unique. Fake accounts impersonating friends or even family members are becoming increasingly common on Snapchat and other social media platforms. The tactics vary. Some impersonators aim to scam money or personal details, others seek to spread false information, and some simply want to cause emotional distress. Impersonation scams can be sophisticated. Fraudsters study their targets by viewing public posts or stories to mimic their style convincingly. They may even hack accounts or use photos and videos stolen from other social media platforms to build a convincing fake profile. The psychological impact on victims can be severe. When someone pretends to be a trusted friend, the sense of betrayal can cause anxiety and paranoia. Users may hesitate to accept new friend requests or share personal moments, fearing another impersonation. This erodes the social trust that platforms like Snapchat rely on for healthy user interaction. Many users fall victim because Snapchat allows relatively easy creation of new accounts and friend requests. Unlike some platforms that require phone number verification or strict identity checks, Snapchat's minimal barriers make it easier for imposters to slip through. Snapchat does provide reporting tools for users to flag fake accounts, but the volume of impersonation attempts can overwhelm moderation teams. Reports may take time to process, during which the fake account can continue deceiving others. Parents and educators emphasize the importance of digital literacy, teaching young users to verify friend requests carefully. Simple steps like calling or texting a friend to confirm a new account, looking closely at usernames for subtle differences, and never sharing personal or financial information through Snapchat can reduce risk. Despite the risks, Snapchat remains a popular platform because of its fun, ephemeral nature. But users need to be aware that the convenience of quickly adding friends can come with serious dangers if caution is not exercised. Sarah's experience taught her to be more vigilant. She started warning her friends about impersonation scams and encouraged open communication about any suspicious messages or friend requests. She also adjusted her privacy settings to restrict who could send her friend requests and who could view her stories. The rise of fake accounts impersonating friends highlights the darker side of social media's rapid growth. As platforms race to offer seamless connectivity, security measures and user education must keep pace to protect users from exploitation.